So today I want to talk to you guys about a little known strategy, which is, I'm not going to reveal what the name of the little known strategy is, but you're going to find out in the presentation what the name of the strategy is. But this strategy, as I mentioned to you guys earlier before we started the presentation, I said that pretty much anyone can do it. It's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to implement. And it's also a way that you can supplement your income in real estate, right? Be it as a real estate agent or a real estate investor. This is how you can find undervalued properties sold by motivated sellers, or you can get motivated sellers, Marcel, and get listings where you make the sale and make a commission. So this presentation is going to be, real estate agent based, and it's also going to be real estate investor based. It's not a long presentation. It's short, sharp, and sweet. It's around 30 minutes. I want to hammer out the content. It's Saturday. Let's get everyone out of here. So learn how to get flooded with leads in less than 30 days. I'll get started? Yes?
Yes.
That was soft. Yes?
Yes.
Woo! Okay, let's do it. Guys, a little bit about me. If you haven't noticed, I'm a very rude and raw Aussie. Now, how I've received the perception of being very rude and raw is quite simple, and I'll tell you how that goes. It goes like this. If I see crap, and it looks like crap, and it smells like crap, I'm the type of person that points his finger and says, that is crap. And unfortunately, in today's day and age, people do not like to get called out on the crap that they do. And unfortunately, there is just way too many people doing stupid crap all the time, everywhere. And I'm the type of person that will just call it out, right? I call an ace of spades an ace of spades. I call it as it is. I quit school at the age of 14, so I've got no formal education whatsoever. I can't type, I can't read, my grammar sucks. Thank God for the calculator, because I'd be lost when it comes to math, right? And I'm a motivational speaker. How about that? I'm supposed to pump you guys up today. I'm not a polished speaker though, and I'm not paid to speak. So there's no hidden agenda within any of my speaking presentations. It is raw content. It is pure value. I am here to deliver a message. So hopefully you guys can implement that message and better your lives from a real estate standpoint, from a real estate investment standpoint, or a real estate agent standpoint. Does that make sense, guys, watching at home? I have been involved in over 450 real estate transactions equating to $50 million worth of real estate. How about that one? Something that a lot of people don't know, especially here locally in town, List and Sell has been around for over 25 years, Marcel. For over 25 years, and we just found out about that when the Better Business Bureau, if you go on to bbb.com or .org, I'm not sure what it is, and you search for List and Sell, the company's been around for, I think, 27 years or something like that. I put 25 here because I couldn't remember the number, and I didn't want to give you wrong facts, which is just mesmerizing. And then, of course, this crazy Australian bought the company, and now we're looking at doing some amazing things with it. We're truly looking to revolutionize the way real estate brokerages operate, not just on a local scale, but on a national scale. And we've already slowly started disrupting the market. There's a lot of interest that we are getting from local people here in town. We are 100% realtor focused, right? So we do not worry about the consumer too much right now. We are going to tie in the consumer. The consumer, guys, is you. Right? The people listing and buying houses, the everyday folks, mom and dad, right? Those are the consumers. Why we don't focus on the consumers is plain and simple. Marcel, if I allow you to make 100% commission, if I give you all of the tools that you need to do your job successfully, right? You will make the consumer's experience. I don't need to worry about the consumer. I don't need to go out of my way as a brokerage and focus on the consumer. I need to focus on you. I need to give you all of your money. I need to give you all of the tools, and then you will go and make the consumer's experience a great one. Granted, we will tie in the consumer into our marketing and into our business model at a later date. We have one of the cheapest rates in the country, right? We only charge $199 per month. That's crazy. I don't even know how we're making money, right? It's just crazy. Well, actually, we're not. It doesn't matter, because it's not about the company making money. It's about offering value. When you offer value to whoever your customer is, the money looks after itself. You do not start a business. You do not become an entrepreneur to make money. I personally think that is the wrong way of going about living your life as a business owner and an entrepreneur. You want to create value. You want to disrupt the market. When you do that successfully, money always looks after itself. Work hard. Here's a saying, guys. Don't forget this. You should write this down. Give others what they want, and in return, you will get what you want. Rule of life. So easy, right? So we have one of the cheapest rates in the country, $199 per month. That is it. There are no hidden fees. There are no junk fees, no desk fees, no tech fees, none of that jibber jabber bullshit. I see a lot of 100% commission brokers that have very weird structures, have very complex formulas on paying out those 100% commissions. They're not. They actually charge you transaction fees and all kinds of stuff, right? And it's just not clean. It's not simple. It doesn't make any sense to me. So we introduced a very clean and simple model. And then we've got the nation's first referral program. There is not a referral program out there like this. Now, I know what you're thinking, right? It's some kind of pyramid scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's very simple, right? John joins List and Sell. John refers Mary. Mary joins List and Sell. We pay John $40 per month for as long as Mary is a part of List and Sell Realty. That is it. If John refers 10 agents that join List and Sell, John will get $400 per month. There is no cap to that, and there is no expiration date, right? So as long as Mary and all those other agents are a part of List and Sell Realty, John will continue getting that referral. Now, why we have structured that in that way is, check this out, Marcel. If you refer Mary, Ian, and Mark, and Mary, Ian, and Mark have a question that they don't know how to answer, and it relates to real estate, it's in your best interest to help Mary, Ian, and Mark, because ultimately, them staying with the brokerage and them having a successful experience with List and Sell Realty, right, is in your interest because you want them to continue working with us so you can continue getting your referral, right? So you'll go out of your way to assist them and answer any questions. We are creating a little community. Disclaimer, this is a good one here. So pretty much what I'm here to tell you is you can't sue me, right? Look, guys, what I'm telling you here today is what I'm about to say is based on my perceptions, opinions, and experiences, right? I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that I'm wrong. At the end of the day, I'm here to give you value. You guys can take this and implement it in your daily lives from a real estate investment standpoint or a real estate agent standpoint, or you cannot implement it. At the end of the day, you learn something new every single day, and I could say just one thing that will completely change your mindset for the better, right? And it will change your life for the better, right? Just, of course, this is your little disclaimer out there. These methods discussed in this presentation are meant to help you get leads, but do not guarantee results. Moving on. So, let's start with a story. Does everyone know who this guy is? Mick Dundee. You call that a knife? This is a knife, mate. So, this story here, guys, is pretty much how I came about this crazy idea to buy List and Sell Realty and implement all of these crazy business strategies that we're doing right now and business philosophies, right? Actually got someone pulling up. And it goes like this, guys. So I speak to a lot of agents on a daily basis from all over the country, okay? And I kept hearing the same thing over and over and over again, and it really started to piss me off, right? And there was one particular fellow, and he kind of gave me a story. He told me a story, and it goes like this, right? And he said, Mr. And I told him, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. We were kind of chatting back and forth, and, he heard that I was Australian and whatnot. And he pretty much told me, I'm sick and tired of my broker, right? I'm sick and tired of my broker. I'm like, what do you mean you're sick and tired of your bloody broker, mate? And he says, they give me nothing, but they take away everything. I'm like, what do you mean they give you nothing, but they take away everything? Explain it to me, right? And I'm being very Australian and, telling him bloody oath and all of that stuff. And he's like, well, listen here, Mr. Crocodile Dundee. That's what he called me. I was like, oh my God, here we go. He's calling me Crocodile Dundee, right? And he says, listen here. And that's why we came up with this cool little image. And he says, I spend days, weeks, and months cold calling, cold emailing, knocking on doors, handing out flyers, begging little old grandma to sell her house. Finally, I get the listing, and 3 months later, I work with the buyer's agent, I work with the lender, I work with, Father Christmas to get this deal across the line, and I make the sale, hurrah. And then the big bad wolf broker comes in and takes away 50% of my commission. And that, Mr. Crocodile Dundee, is what I mean by they give me nothing, but they take away everything. The yellow letter campaign. And now you guys are supposed to be like, when Steve Jobs used to announce the iPhone, and it was like, wow. This is the number one lead generation tool that I use from a real estate investment standpoint. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The best deals that I have ever bought in my life have been by implementing yellow letter campaigns. I'm getting ready to launch another mass market yellow letter campaign in Cincinnati and Toledo. It is used by some of the best realtors in the country. I get it. Yes, we are in the 21st century. Tech is where it's at, right? It's all online. It's all virtual. I can't get too deep into any online lead generation strategies from a Facebook sponsored post standpoint with webinars and squeeze pages that get people to commit. Let's just do caveman type strategies. And believe it or not, this works better than any online marketing strategies, at least in my experience. Okay. It's a little known marketing strategy there aren't that many people that know how to implement this strategy. And not just that, there aren't that many people that know how to implement this strategy correctly. And it's not that difficult, but it does take a little bit of tweaking. So what I'm going to show you guys here today is some of my, I guess, I don't want to, say secrets, but I guess I want to show you something that I have learned over the years by making a lot of mistakes, right? When you make mistakes, guys, you learn from those mistakes. You do not repeat those mistakes. You pick yourself back up and you keep moving forward, okay? So it's a yellow letter campaign. I'm going to the next slide now. The process. This is what the process consists of. You need to choose a zip code. In example, I've put here the 43612, which is the 5 Points area here in Toledo, Ohio. I've bought, I don't know the exact number, but easily over 100 houses in the 43612 zip code, if not more. This is my bread and butter zip code from a real estate investment standpoint, right? I already mentioned to you guys, this can be implemented from a real estate investment standpoint and also as a real estate agent, okay? And I know that there's a lot of folks here in town and all across Ohio that are actual real estate investors, not just real estate agents, right? So you have to choose a zip code. And something that I always say, guys, before you choose a zip code, you have to immerse yourself in everything and anything that is going on in that particular area, right? There's a saying, it goes like this: information is power and options equal safety. Information is power and options equal safety, right? I want to immerse myself in everything and anything in a particular area that I'm looking at working as a real estate agent in or a real estate investor. I want to know who the top performers are in that particular region. I want to know how long properties sit on the market. I want to know what distressed assets are selling for. I want to know what renovated sales properties are selling for. Like, leave no stone unturned. Like, this has to be your bread and butter. You have to live it, breathe it, eat it, love it. This is what your whole world needs to evolve around. That's the zip code you choose. Okay? Moving on. You're going to have to find a list. Now, there's something at the end of this presentation. You guys can come and chat to me after. I'd be more than happy to reveal some of the websites that we use where you can get lists. But I've used something here that has worked the best for us. Absentee homeowners first of all, absentee homeowners. That means people that do not live at the residence. So 123 Smith Street, but the mailing address is in Florida, in New York, in LA. These folks either have an investment property here in town that live out of state, or they live in state or even in town, but they have another residence, another investment property, or someone else is living in that house and whatnot. The likelihood of them wanting to sell their home is pretty high. I don't know the exact reason, but my perception is that they can't manage it well. Something's going wrong with it, so they want to sell their house, and it's pretty urgent most of the time, especially if they call you back, right? Another great list to use is folks that have purchased their home in 1980 or before. Why? Because there's an older population here in town and in Ohio, right? And in general, in the world, baby boomers, whatever those exact years are, but that's when the most people were born on the face of the planet, right? So right now, baby boomers are kind of retiring. There's a lot of baby boomers here in town. They don't like the cold anymore. They want to move to Florida or North Carolina or wherever the warmer climate takes them. So the likelihood of them wanting to sell their home that have been living in the same place of residence for 20, 30 years is pretty high, right? So these are the two lists that I've found a lot of success in. I'll repeat them for you. Absentee homeowners, right? And folks that have purchased their homes before 1980. Once again, chat to me later and I'll happily reveal those websites for you where you can get these lists of people. There are companies out there, guys, that compile all of these stats and demographics, right? And you can literally buy lists from these companies for a particular zip code or multiple zip codes. Then you have to pick out your letter. There are many different letters. Believe it or not, there's also a pink letter campaign, not just a yellow letter. There's a blue letter, right? We use the yellow letter one, and it looks like it's handwritten because, that's a good question. I don't even know why we use that one. But I think that it comes from a perception where there's a lot of folks back in the day that had yellow notepads, right? So it just kind of looked like a quick little scribble. Someone put this letter together, put it in an envelope and sent it to you. So it looks real, it looks original, and it's something that will make you react, right? So you have to pick out your letters, and these are the two letters that have worked the best for me from a real estate investment standpoint. Hi, my name is, and I'm interested in purchasing your house at 5313 Secor Road. That's our old office, by the way. There are several options available for people who are thinking of selling. To discuss your options, please call me. And your name. It's as simple as that. It's a yellow letter. It looks like it's handwritten, right? And people will open that and respond to it. The envelope has to be blank too. So it really has to look like a letter. And once again, come and chat to me after, and I will tell you the company that we use to do all of this for us. There are too many nuts and bolts of you trying to go out and do this yourself. You need to get the right envelope. You need to get the right font. You need to get this way too many right things that you need to get. It's just much easier to outsource to someone else to do this for you and send it out for you. Okay. And then another one is, hi, I was driving by your house at 5313 Secor Road and I'm interested in possibly buying it. If you're interested in selling, please call me at this and this number. Okay? Sincerely. Now, I use this from a real estate investment standpoint because it says, I'm not a real estate broker, I'm just looking to buy in the area. A lot of folks, they do not want to be pitched by real estate agents for whatever reason, right? So, this particular letter is used if you are in real estate as an investor and you actually want to get the message across. Now, you can't say that if you're an actual real estate broker, right? So that really wouldn't work for anyone that's a real estate agent. But there are many other letters. There are many other spiels contained within those letters. And you just have to, one of my favorite ones was, hey, I was just riding my bicycle and I happened to come across your house. I absolutely love it and I think it's a beautiful home. Please give me a call. That used to work for me really well. I'm riding my bicycle. Seriously, who rides their bicycle? But anyway, there are people that ride their bicycle. I ride my scooter, but I mean, you know what? I should try that one. Hey, I was riding my Vespa through your street and I saw your house, okay? So these are the two letters that work for us. So you need to select your letter. Then you need to choose your quantity. How many letters do you want to send? And a lot of that will depend on how overwhelmed you want to be with the callbacks. So this here, guys, is the process. And we're also going to touch on the expectations and how many callbacks you're going to get and what the price is going to be and all of that stuff. But ultimately, you need to choose your quantity. What my advice to all of you is start off small. You can always scale it from there. Only do 500 or 1,000, right? I've been known to send out 5,000 to 10,000 a month, right? And that is absolute chaos because once those letters hit, the phones blow up. It is like ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. If you hit the message right, if you hit the letter right, if you hit the time of year right, people want to sell and they want to sell quickly and they want to list quickly, right? And then you send. That's the easiest part out of all of this, right? The after process, guys. So what happens when those letters actually start hitting letterboxes? As I mentioned, you're going to start receiving calls, and you will receive a ton of phone calls. Now, the best case scenario is if you can pick up that phone live. That is the absolute best. Now, I know a lot of that's going to be dependent on how many letters you sent, because your phone will blow up. But if you can pick up that phone live, that is the best case scenario, because if you don't, it will go to voicemail, and you don't know if you're ever going to catch that prospect lead, right? It might just vanish. It might evaporate. And in my eyes, I am very big on that, and I'm very picky on that. I need to catch them all, Nancy. Like, I need to be that Pokemon trainer. I cannot let any single one of those little buggers fly away from me. Pikachu and all of those little dinosaurs, whatever they're called. I need to catch them all. So I am freaking, if I need to, take my phone with me to the loo, I will freaking sit on the tunny and I'll be picking up the phone, and I'll actually do have a whiteboard in my toilet upstairs so I can take down notes if I get a train of thought or something comes into mind, okay? Now, guys, when you get really fancy, really advanced, a super duper top performer, Marcel, then you get an automated phone line. You outsource that, baby. You get someone picking up the phone for you. They're going to have a set of questions that they need to ask. They're going to pre-qualify that lead, understand all of the ins and outs, write all of the details down, and you, Mr. Big Boss Man, you get to get a report every day. And then you get to put your little twist on it, right? And your little hot sauce, as I like to refer to it as, and you call these folks back and you go and get yourself a presentation, right, on the dinner table. Callbacks, okay? We're calling these folks back. We are asking them what their current situation is. Why are they looking to sell? In what condition is the property? How quickly are they looking to sell, right? Then we always schedule a meeting. People buy people, not products, not brokerages, not services. They buy you and you and you and everyone. Never forget that. People buy people. You need to go and meet these folks. Sit down with them. If there's no potential of getting the listing, it doesn't matter. Give them your business card, give them a brochure, make an appearance in a crazy blue jacket like I do, and call yourself the agent in blue. And say you're the real estate dingo and shake their hand. They won't forget you. Or the agent in pink, Marcel. Or you can say, I'm the thunder from down under. Whatever works, mate. You know what I mean? Leave an impression. You want to be remembered. You want to be remembered. You're scheduled to meet, and then you give the presentation, fancy prospectus. Speak to me about those. I've got a lot of great prospectuses that I can give you the format so you can order them. Of course, you want to leave something with these folks. You want to be remembered, guys. Never be pushy. I hate pushy salespeople. I never was pushy. I never will be pushy, right? I only present who I am, what I do, and the service I can provide. And it's up to you to make the decision if you want to work with me or not, right? And of course, I'll be persistent. I'll follow up. I'll call in a very professional and polite manner. Like, you will know who I am. You'll remember me. If you don't list your house with me today, you'll list your house with me in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years. It doesn't matter. I will always be there. And I know I'm pissing off a lot of real estate agents here in town because they get my weekly newsletter. I'm not going to stop sending that weekly newsletter. I'm actually going to start sending it 3 times a week. You can all unsubscribe if you want. Then I'll send you yellow letters. Then I'm going to start retargeting you on Facebook with Facebook sponsored posts. I'm not even, wait for the billboards. You know what? You know those little Cessna planes? I'll be dropping flyers where your kids are playing freaking sports. Right? And then you get the listing, guys. You freaking get the listing. You ready for the numbers? These are the numbers or expectations. Take this with a grain of salt, okay? This is just dependent on the time of year, on the type of letter, on the amount that you sent. How many times have you, on the zip code, on the list? But this has been my experience, rough ballpark, okay? You mail 3,000 letters. You will get around 150 callbacks, 5%. I've underestimated that. You'll get more callbacks than that. But let's just lower our expectations here. I want to show you worst case scenario. I bought real estate investment standpoint, 2 to 3 properties out of that bundle immediately. Nancy, the seller wanted to sell now. And I managed to get a good enough price where it made sense for me and my company from a flipping standpoint, and it made sense for them from a quick sale aspect so they can move on to whatever the next phase of their life was. I planned to buy, or I still had in the pipeline and in the works. Remember how I told you earlier, if you do not pick up that phone immediately, you might miss out on that lead? Well, normally what tends to happen is you play phone tags for another 14 months, and then you actually get the listing or you make the purchase, right? Over the next 2 to 3 months, I would still buy 2 to 3 properties out of that bundle. So instantly, I would buy 2 to 3 properties. Over the next 2 to 3 months, I would buy another 2 to 3 properties. Zach, keep these numbers in mind, mate. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yellow letter campaigns are the most powerful thing out there. And in my experience, you can expect to list at least 5 properties at the absolute minimum. And I know this is true because we would give a few of our agents leads that did not make sense from an investment standpoint, and they would work those leads, and this is how many listings they secured from that bundle. I mean, guys, those are big numbers. Marcel, those are big numbers. 5 listings, that's a big deal, right? And you know how much commission you make on a deal. Of course, that's dependent on the price, it's dependent on the area and whatnot, okay? So those are the expectations. Come and see me after the presentation, and I can share with you the exact website we use and how you can use it too. Ballpark prices for sending out these yellow letters, guys, is you're going to be paying around $1 to $1.19 to do a mailing, okay? So if we're doing 1,000 letters, okay, it's going to cost you around $1,000 to $1,200 to send out these yellow letters, and you can expect to list 1 to 2 properties out of that bundle, right? If we send out 3,000, we're probably going to get 5 listings, okay? So now you're going to have to see what your immediate return on investment is, okay? If you get 1 to 2 listings, you will cover your cost, right? And you'll make a little bit of money. Once again, it depends on how expensive the property is and what your negotiated commission is with the seller. But you do not know what the long-term ROI on that investment is, guys. And that takes 1, 2, 3, 5 years. Nancy, if I do business with you today and I list your house and sell it, you might use me as a buyer's agent too, because you need to move into somewhere else, right? So this here might not get you an immediate return on investment, meaning you might not immediately cover your expense, even though in my opinion, you will not just cover, you will also do a profit. Once again, guys, it depends on your talent. It depends on how prompt you are at following up. It depends on how many meetings you want to go and attend and how many listings you will get. None of this works if you don't work. Plain simple. None of it works unless you don't work. So you have to work, and it will work. Right? There's no talent in what I do, guys. It is sheer drive, passion, and determination. Every single day, I just keep pumping those numbers. Phone calls, emails, meetings, events, videos, social media posts, non-stop, right? So that pretty much concludes our presentation for today. I'm happy to chat. I'm happy to answer any questions. Don't hesitate to ask me anything. We've got water, snacks, cookies, pop, all kinds of stuff. Like my page on Facebook at The Real Estate Dingo. I don't know why I put that magazine there, but it was all the way back, so I had to put it there. And somehow this guy found his way right there. Look at him. So that's it. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.